Full screen.
What's going on, New Gaming Order? This is Alex Lexus, aka the New Jersey Juggernaut, coming at you for Lunchtime TV for February 12th, 2016. Now, those of you who have been checking out my Lunchtime TV segments or mini shorts on gaming news that's breaking, I thank you for the support. Please sub and tell your friends about us, and if all works out, I can, bring a couple of the guest viewers of this channel onto our podcast that we do on Saturdays. So inbox me, and I'll get that popping for you. In breaking news, and no pun intended, Quantum Break is at the center of some controversy and news right now. So this might be a little bit longer for my solo video, but there's a couple points I want to hit because I did some research and I've always taken notes to make sure my thoughts are collected in the moment, because there's times where, I was looking at some other videos and just looking at what other YouTubers were thinking in reference to this, and I'm just going to respond here. But Quantum Break, I was watching on the Xbox dashboard last night that Quantum Break if you pre-order Quantum Break, you're going to get a free Alan Wake backwards compatibility. Well, for me, that doesn't, because when I had got my 360, I had a Alan Wake download code and something Gears of War or something like that. I already have the game, so that doesn't really help me none. But you're going to get Alan Wake, and you're going to also get all the DLC that came with it. I think they're also giving away American Nightmare. And just like the complete package for Alan Wake you're going to get. And the PC version of Quantum Break will also be given to you via a code for Windows 10 Store. Now, here's my thing. Shout out to Black Dragon. Not Black Dragon, Red Dragon. There's too many dragons on mine. But shout out to Black Dragon too. But the Red Dragon was talking about in a video cross-buy, where if you own the console version of a game that also is supported on Windows 10 and Windows 10 Store, you should be able to own it on both, like Killer Instinct, right? So now that Killer Instinct is confirmed to be going to PC, people didn't, lose their shit over it. Now, Quantum Break is being also touted as in the same boat, and some folks are having a problem with it. Now, for me, I think that's good news. Granted, I don't think that they should have announced the PC version of Quantum Break being released at the same time as the console version, but that remains to be seen, because Microsoft has to be careful not to cannibalize itself, because if you don't give people a reason to own your console, I mean, what's the point? You know what I mean? I have some examples going further, but if you want to get, the free copy of the PC version for Quantum Break, make sure you pre-order the game. I forget what the window is, but you pre-order the game, you're going to have both. And your saves will sync onto the cloud, so that whether you're on Act 1, you finish Act 1 on your Xbox, you can resume Act 2 on the PC and go back and forth. So I think that's pretty cool. I don't know why people are upset about it. It's a new form of mobile to me. If you have a gaming laptop, you can just go wherever, right? I see this as the beginning of the whole cross-buy initiative that Phil Spencer wanted to get off the ground anyway. But not just him, but folks in general. It's for convenience. But with that, again, they have to be careful how they strategically do this, because if you have it for PC at the same time, you got a lot of folks, and especially like the Xbox extremists, you got a lot of them like, oh, blah, blah, blah. Like, what? Shut the fuck up. Like, Xbox, shut up. I think it's the new era of Xbox fans that are stirring some of the trouble with other fans, because they have to understand, if you look at the original Xbox, they were I'll probably do that on the podcast on Saturday where I'll go into detail. But there were games that were on PC and Xbox One, 360, and gaming for Windows Live. They're not doing anything any different. You know what I mean? So I think it's the new generation of folks that just are ill-informed, and they're just like, oh my God, shut the fuck up. Go back, do your research. Look at Jade Empire. Look at freaking Gears of War. There's a lot of games, Alan Wake, a lot of games that were on PC and that console. I don't know what the issue is. Some folks, But I will say that those Sony fans that who rejoice in seeing Microsoft trip up, they can somewhat be justified in it, because you have to make sure that people are comfortable purchasing your product. Following the route like Nintendo and talking about the NX and the Wii U's, you don't want to cannibalize your own market. Like, they still are supporting the 360, where they should have been ceased support for it, so they can focus on the one. And now you're gonna do like, it's almost as if they already put up the white flag. At the end of the day, just enjoy the games, because if you look at supporting a group or a company and they're making some questionable decisions, the best thing you can invest in is yourself and what you enjoy. But it's still questionable. But I'll give some examples. I have a PS4, right? Guilty Gear Xrd was only available on PS4, so naturally I got it. I'm a Guilty Gear fan, right? But as soon as the PC one came out, and I got it for PC for what, a half off, it was, as opposed to the 60 I paid when I went to that GameStop that broke street date. I have not touched the PSN version in a minute. Like, it just, I don't know. Honestly, Arc Systems, had they not did the PC version of Guilty Gear Xrd, I still have a reason to go back to my PS4. Now I don't, not for that game at least. Another example, Street Fighter V. I just preloaded the Street Fighter V from my Steam, okay? In my other video, I talked about how the whole user profiles, if they're not universal, like for instance, see how Quantum Break will have the cloud sync save or whatever. If Street Fighter V does not have that between PSN and PC, I'm going to primarily stay on the PC, because I'm not going to be going back and forth. You know what I'm saying? But with that, I have Street Fighter V on PC. There's no real reason for me to really go back to the PSN network if I don't have to. I think that's where some of the Xbots or the extremist ones were like, oh yeah, Look, don't worry about if PC is getting it. Don't worry about what Sony is or isn't getting or whatever. Like, okay, if you have an Xbox and you getting Quantum Break, focus on that. Sony fans, same thing. You got Street Fighter V, PC or whatever. Just focus on your platform. Because, like, worrying and making all these rants, it's not going to change the situation. Microsoft, Nintendo, and Sony have to survive, right? So, by Microsoft making this decision, to me, I feel like they're trying to future-proof themselves. Same thing like Nintendo's trying to do. So, you got to look at it from different angles. I will say this. Some people are angry, or justifiably angry, where if you are told Quantum Break is only coming out on Xbox One, then you get the Xbox One, like, oh, okie doke, then you're getting it on PC as well. then that's negative PR, Microsoft. That's not cool. Same thing with Scalebound and a couple other games that you can't mislead. You can't do false advertising like that. That's just wrong. And I believe if you look between the lines, you can see that Microsoft knew this was going to happen. They knew it was going that way, and it's just some of the decisions are being made. They're cannibalizing themselves. Fix it, Microsoft. What the fuck? Like, y'all fucking up. I'll just say this: PC. I mean, if with the way Microsoft is going, I probably, if because they already confirmed they're working on their next console, that next console should be their last. They should just because I'm seeing Dan Matrick in his cancer with the Xbox division seemingly resurface. I would have that Quantum Break, yeah, bring it out on PC, but at least 6 months to a year later. Too soon, too soon. Again, for those new folks who are just getting into gaming post 09ers, if you didn't know Microsoft was doing this practice before with some of their exclusives, look at Rise Son of Rome and all that. I don't know why Quantum Break is a big deal for that. They're just doing what they normally do. But I don't know. We're going to talk about this more on our podcast, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can check out the NewGamingOrder.com podcast show where we'll review this topic in detail. But leave your comments, rate, comment, subscribe. Check us out on NewGamingOrder.com for the latest and greatest gaming news. And if you guys are wanting to check out our podcast and want to anticipate the topics we will cover, go to our Facebook page. I'll put that link in the descriptions below. But with that, out like the juggernaut bitch. Sub-Zero's outside. It's cold as shit here in New Jersey. Stay warm. Don't get sick. And to my girlfriend who's probably going to watch this, feel better. I know the cold got to you, but it'll be all good. So I'm out like the juggernaut bitch. I'll see you guys later. Peace.